Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another AMV Nightmare podcast after God fucking knows how long it's been since we actually posted the last one. I am your host, Shadow Mercury, being co-hosted today by the one and only Sonic Ring.
Hey everybody, Sonic Ring 123 Dubs here, aka Cole Petty, and as he said, I'm co-hosting today. Hope everyone's having a good evening. Around the bend, we also have some more people joining us today. First, I'll go ahead and introduce the first one we have today with us as well, Gino. Hey there, Gino.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Also joining us
going
today.
right from...
Yep, go ahead.
Good guys, right on there is also his Hoso.
Hey, how's it going?
Failhammer, say hello, buddy.
Hello.
And then finally, we got the always wonderful Striker, who... Come on, introduce yourself. Say hi to the people!
Heyo, it's Striker Force here.
There you go.
Today's Striker's a bit more of a Soul Striker sleepy.
No kidding.
Alrighty. So today we're trying to be a bit more professional, actually have a plan of what we're going with instead of just, hey, who's heard of anything different lately? And so we're actually going to try and go off of a list of topics, and hopefully this will allow us to have a more properly flowing podcast rather than the gong show that has been every other podcast we have ever done. So today we're going to be starting with something that I think all of us can get some kind of input on, and that is video games. There's a shit ton of them out there. I'm pretty sure all of us play at least some form of some capacity of video game. So my question the discussion I'd like to have tonight is, what's a video game you would like to see created? Like, it could be like a video game based off of an anime, based off of a TV series, or just an idea for a video game that, doesn't exist yet. Like, just something that could just come out of nowhere and, be different. Kind of like how the Battle Royale genre just popped up and we all quickly regretted that thing happening.
Ugh.
Gino, start us off. You got anything?
Oh, for video games that I want to be created. Okay. Well, as anybody knows, if they follow my channel or follow anything that I put out, I'm a huge fan of League of Legends. And with the cast they have, I absolutely love the concept of them having a fighting game. Ooh. And a 2D fighting game, kind of like, what was it, like Skullgirls? Or, that kind of genre. Because the characters they have a lot of, like, different types of characters, like tanks and fighters and stuff like that actually look like if they were in a 2D fighting game, could do some major cool combos. Like, we're talking, like, giant combos that could switch into one of the 140 characters that League has put out. I think it's a really interesting concept, and with as much money where it has, they've only really put out one other game, and it was a board game, and it has to do with, of course, League of Legends. I think that it'd be a really good idea for them to bank in on it.
Yeah, I agree. That could be a really good kind of like setup. I could see, because he said it's a huge fucking roster. This one, I don't even play or really follow games too much, and I know it's a fucking huge roster. But so yeah, you can definitely assume that. And it would be a difficult thing because with fighting games, I don't play them much, but I love watching supers.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things is that a lot of the characters, as you know, there's 140 characters right now, and that just like they all have unique ults, and the way they fight is just really cool. It'd be really cool to see how they could interact with each other. Not all 140, but just seeing at least like a portion of that roster get put in. The biggest thing that I think that they should do with it is like test the waters, kind of, see if anybody be interested. I think that'd be a really smart idea on their part. But there's like a huge untapped market that, they could easily access with it.
Yeah, and I think maybe some small to start off with because it is a big roster. We want to make sure maybe small, something small at first, maybe add stuff onto it. We could make sure, because the biggest thing I think is sometimes what happens with a big roster, sometimes you might see samey stuff. You might see stuff that doesn't flow too well. Some characters might, I always think of the grand task and what the ramifications are. What could be of a stress pile like on top of you.
Oh, totally. The biggest thing that I would like to see them do is put out just one champion from each of the locations. I think that right there would be enough to see a lot of people get enough of their representation of their favorite faction, stuff like that, put in. Like, I could see them putting in Darius, Garen, Mordekaiser. They could put in Fizz. As somebody who loves playing Fizz just because he's so, like, out of control and asinine with everything he does, and it's just, he's ridiculous. His game flow would be great, and, like, watching his ultimate, like, where he, like, stops and he throws the fish at you and it knocks you up and sets you up for this big combo, I think that would just be insane to watch. And, of course, you just put Jinx in there so everybody would buy the game.
That'd work on me, I can't deny it.
That's why I said it.
Be the ranged character.
All right, it's very good. Let's see. Let's move on. Striker, how about you next? What are you feeling, buddy?
Let's see, off the top of my head, I think some of my favourite games I like to play is, which I don't think there's enough of. I mean, there is some, but not enough of. Games where you get to be the villain. I love villain games like Overlord.
Not necessarily like you have the choice of being good or evil, but the straight up like, no, you're the bad guy here. You're
exactly.
trying to defeat the hero and all this stuff and all.
Exactly, not like, you know, being the renegade or being a badass. You're still the good guy essentially, but no, be the bad guy. I think I like a concept like an RPG that instead of gathering heroes to fight the evil, you're gathering bad guys to fight the good guys, to fight the heroes. I think that'd be a really interesting concept to see the other perspective, basically.
Definitely in RPG sense, and nothing really comes to mind. I know there's some really sense of humor games. I think that you play back because was it Destroy the Humans kind of like that?
That's like just a straight up shooter though, not.
Well, no, it was a weird fucking. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't think of an RPG like that, but that's kind of what
Overlord.
Yeah, I did say Overlord. Yeah, Overlord is like.
Oh, I didn't know that was. I didn't even know that was an RPG. Which one is Overlord? Is that like the weird? Which one is that?
Evil.
It's when you control all the different imps.
Evil.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, I thought that was okay. Well, I think RPG. I think like character choices and shit.
No, not an RPG. I was just saying that's like the big example of a villain game. I think that's the most prominent villain game. I think.
Okay.
But yeah, RPG wise, I can't think of any that let you play the villain or anything.
Yeah, definitely could be a cool idea indeed. Yeah. I'm trying to think a good way to do it without being too like. It depends on how heavy they want to go with you being the bad guy too. Is like a big part of that. Like
that is true.
Are you cartoony evil or are you slavery, genocide, kill everything evil?
I have an example for that. I can only think of one game that has really ever let you have that like villainy thing in that aspect, and that's probably the BioShock. The first one, I don't know. The first one, you got the evil ending, was pretty dark.
Yeah, it's there, but it's the same thing. Like it's the choice. You have the choice of that. Like,
you mean like strictly evil? Like there's no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just you're supposed to be evil.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, they should totally. Yeah, that's a huge untapped genre.
Exactly. That's why I've wondered why they've never really explored that area.
On the whole, I think I would prefer like really classic cartoony evil.
I think that'd be fun. Like Overlord's good.
I want an option during a cutscene. The QT pops up and I can twirl my mustache.
Oh my god! Yes.
As
long as a monocle and top hat floats slowly down from the top of the screen while I do it.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting one. Okay. Let's move on. Hoso, what do you got, buddy? What do you think? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I don't think I really have a big opinion on the whole thing. I just don't play much video games, although granted most of that's because I ain't have time to play video games, and whatever I do play, I play. Plus, I'm used to the whole retro games. That's what I grew up on. I still play them to this day, strangely enough.
Well, have you played Celeste? That kind of like puts the new spin on retro games.
No, I don't even think I've heard of it. I'm not really in a big loop when it comes to video games, really. Although, other than like the stuff you hear about, I want to try out Apex Legends when that comes out and all that good stuff. Or it is out. What am I kidding? Yeah.
All right. All right, that's fine. Let's go ahead and move on then. Kirk, how about you, buddy?
Big thing I've been saying for a long time. I know you've heard me talk about this before, Sonic Ring, and something I think would be a lot of fun to have as a game would be a Kill Warriors style game, like or just like a Kill Platinum game, basically.
So we're talking like Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, like
but
Bayonetta
in the style of Kill la Kill.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh fuck yeah! There goes my money.
It
is flying out of my wallet.
I would prefer that than the weird fighting game we're getting right now with the series. Yeah.
Oh no, I was so disappointed when I saw that. Like it was like Kill la Kill game, and now it's like, oh my god, yes! And then it's like fighting game. I was like, you fucking assholes.
All they had to do was take a port of Akaba Strip and slap Kill la Kill over it, and bam, great game.
That's not inaccurate in the slightest.
I hadn't thought of it being like a Bayonetta game, but I can totally see it working like that.
Just want Platinum to touch it. I just want Platinum to touch it.
Yeah, just the level of over-the-top action that you can get combined with like the combos, the air juggles, like I just think that'd just be so much freaking fun. And like I'm just like in my head, just kind of picturing like you do like these epic multi-strike finishing cutscene attack, and then like you just like say something, and then boom, clothes explode. It's just.
Not to mention, if it's a platinum game, you can almost guarantee that the soundtrack is going to be lit.
Yeah, that's one thing. First thing I was thinking of it, like, and properly timed when like, it's in the thing when the boss fights get in there, the music escalates and the lyrics kick in. God, that was the best part.
Like the first fight in Metal Gear Rising and stuff like that. Oh yeah,
God, that was
like the best part.
That was just straight up just. God, that was so good.
That was like my favorite part about Metal Gear Rising and Platinum games was like when the first time you fight one of the main people. I think it's Mistral, and you're like, oh, all the bosses up until this point have been pretty easy, and then Mistral's just like, you thought.
Even Metal Gear Ray was like that. When Rules of Nature kicks in, when you grab it and flip it, it kicks in so good at the perfect time.
At this point, I'm just now craving a combat remix of "Don't Lose Your Way."
Or like a final boss combat remix.
Fuck yeah!
Oh my god, yes!
Like you've got like a full fucking orchestra going in it.
Full orchestra. You've got like the most insane drummer going on. You've got some Dragon Force style guitar going on top of all of it.
Oh wow!
You know that one scene from I think it's the Imagination Land episode of South Park where he's just fucking rubbing his nipples. That's me.
Okay, that came out of nowhere.
I don't know if you're referring to the Mel Gibson thing with.
Yes, it hurts when I twist them.
It hurts when I twist them. I wasn't sure if you were going for that or the Cable episode when the Velcro pulleys just pull them down and start just rubbing their nipples like, tell us your issues.
All right, very, very cool one. Let's see. Next up, Fail. How about you, buddy?
I thought of two for this. I think in terms of sort of main sort of AAA things that I'd like to see is basically another Fallout New Vegas. It's by far my favourite of the Fallout so far, and I'd just like to say, I don't know if like a New Vegas 2 or just like something else like continuing on from it. And the other one is actually, it's a series of adventure games I've got called the Chizo Mythos series by Yahtzee Croshaw, and I'd actually kind of like to see like a kind of like a 3D version of some or all of those made. I know he sort of collaborated loosely with a group of modders who tried to make a Source mod of the first game, but it kind of died, so nothing really came of it. But it's there's something that I'd sort of be interested to see, like a 3D version of it, because the current versions as they are like they're made with Adventure Game Studio, so they're sort of 2D side scrollers, and I just sort of think I'd like to see what would happen if sort of had a bunch more resources piled into it.
Yeah, that sounds neat. For later New Vegas, do you want like a game that's like definitely think I would like to see a continuation from that storyline, like maybe some XX years afterwards.
So like directly corresponding to.
I would like to see that because there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. I kind of want to see like what's happening there now and stuff like that. It's always the thing with player with it was like a heavy like I kind of also want to know like what's the have they ever said what was the like what was considered to be like canon ending?
Nicole?
Yeah.
There is no canon ending for New Vegas.
Okay.
So my concept for that would be like something like how Telltale's does things. Like it reads what you did for your last game for your choice. Kind of like how Mass Effect 2 does it, and like, you know, it all adds into everything. I think that'd be a really good idea for them to explore that option.
If there was gonna be a canon ending for it, I would bet it would probably be either Independent New Vegas or NCR Victory.
Well, yeah, because, you know, if the house wins, everything's fucked, and if Caesar wins, everything's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the main thing is I just want Bethesda to let Obsidian have the make something in the Fallout universe again.
Yeah, let's wait and see how it's going right now. Yeah, Bethesda's being weird right now, so yeah.
Yeah, I admit I'm not getting my hopes up, but a man can dream, damn it.
Yeah. In the meantime, we do have some cool stuff coming down the line. We got Outer Worlds is still looking pretty interesting, and then we also got Cyberpunk relatively close in the future. So yeah, that's cool stuff. And I guess now it'd be my turn, right? Let's see. Yeah, so funny enough, Kirk stole mine. Literally thought the same thing.
Wow.
Like yesterday or whenever you posted that in the podcast chat, the topics. Literally, that's the same thing I thought of.
Wow.
More straight up platinum, less like Dynasty Warrior, like platinum stuff, just straight up platinum, but more or less that was the same fucking idea I had.
Wow. Something about great minds.
I think that may come down to just the amount of times we've discussed that while playing other games.
Yeah, that might be it.
You know, like, again, if we're going to jump back on that topic, because it is worthy of going back to that, it's an amazing concept, because Platinum Games has really, like, shown that when they have the ability to go back into it, like, everything they do shows a lot of heart and soul poured into it. It's never really half-assed. Look at Bayonetta 2. Nintendo was, you know, gracious enough to give them the funding so they could actually make it, and if you go and play that game, it hands down shows that the Platinum team...
Wait, they're doing it again, aren't they? Nintendo? Didn't they save that Dragon game?
Scalebound.
Yeah, I think I read something about that Nintendo's picked that up or something.
Oh God, please.
I think that.
Oh, yeah, see,
I think that was the thing. Yeah.
That's the cool thing is, like, you know, going into Nintendo, like, they're awesome at funding things that, like, obviously deserve the funding. Like, Nintendo shows it that it actually cares about third-party people a little bit more than the other two big numbers. But just going into Platinum, it shows, like, with their games and everything they put into it, they put a lot of thought and heart and soul into it. Like, it never seems half-assed. Even if they don't put out, like, an instant gem, it's definitely worth playing, and you never feel like you're regretting, like, going into it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, so let's see. Other than that, I can't think anything right away off the top of my head for like a game or something. I can say I want another Sky Gunner. That's never going to happen because I believe the company made that's fucking dead.
Now, can I ask you what Sky Gunner is? I actually don't have any clue.
Yeah,
Sky Gunner was a game. I know for a fact I've talked to Kirk about 1,000 times on this. Is a game on the PS2. And it is still one of my favorite. It was my favorite game on my PlayStation 2. I loved it to death. The opening still makes me my heart flutter and makes me want to cry. I love the opening cinematic so much. It's a good fucking song. It's a flying simulator shoot 'em kind of thing. And to this day, I still think it has some of the best flying controls. And
Now I have to ask, going into that opening song, is it on par or better than Flying into Free from Dragon's Dogma?
I like it more. It's got a nice it's like an anime animated intro and everything. It looks really nice, and it shows the three characters, shows all the flying around. It just does a good job. Again, the song is just so good. That's one thing I make sure I keep. I got that on my computer somewhere. But yeah, it was a really good one. It is a nice a nice little art style to it. Not quite. It wasn't like full blown like anime. It had its nice kind of own style, kind of chibi-ish overall style to it. And the way the game worked is 3 characters. Each character is easy, normal, and hard. And you all go through the same events, but you're at different parts of it because you're doing different things. And then they all have 1 or 2 specific missions on their own. So
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it has like a lot of fun replay value. Then once you beat the game, like you can do like the time attack modes and all that stuff. It was a really solid game. It did get a sequel, but it was Japan exclusive, and it was like a side scrolling shoot. What do you call those? Bullet hell. Thank you.
Like Gradius.
Yeah, kind of like that. But yeah, so I guess that'll be mine in lieu of the since Kirk got mine, since Shadow Mercury got mine. But yeah, all around, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. I think. Do you think we can move on to our next topic, or does anyone have any more stuff they want to fill in for like some game stuff they might have thought of?
Actually, something I'd like to add. Oh.
No, go ahead, Striker. Go ahead.
It's actually something mentioned during fails. Actually, when mentioned like Mass Effect, like games that read your previous decisions. I think a few more games like that would be nice, like sequels that carry over decisions. Because again, Mass Effect's the only one I can really think of that actually does that. And
well, Telltale does as well.
Oh,
Dragon
yeah, good
Age
point.
as well.
Good point.
Yeah, and there are a couple of strategy games that can do that.
To be fair, Dragon Age is also BioWare, so you're literally just naming the same game again.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But a few more games like that would be nice, like ones that make you feel like choices and all that have a bit more impact when it comes to sequels and stuff.
Now, I know it's not really a choice, but there is a Flash game that kind of does that, and it only allows you to play it once unless you like go through and like delete certain files on your computer or something. But it's called You Only Live Once.
Oh, I know that.
It's a platform game, and it's absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone who hasn't played it outside of the podcast, but if you ever have the time, it's a quick game. It is a quick, funny little story. If you can get to the end, good on you, but it's not about getting to the end. It's about getting to a point where you do die, because it is just a hilarious tidbit. And if you try to refresh afterwards, it just gets funnier and funnier and funnier.
That's cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, what I was gonna throw out there was just for like two quick titles that I'd love to see get a game sequel would be Vanquish, which I'm pretty sure is another Platinum game on the.
Yep. Son of a bitch. That was I had that in my head.
I loved that game so much, and then when it ended, I was like, oh man, we're getting a sequel game. Like that is totally a build up for number 2, and still waiting.
Yeah, because Sega.
Yeah, and the second thing that I'd love to see get made would be another addition to the Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced series, because I loved Tactics Advanced 1 on the Game Boy Advance. I loved the hell out of Tactics Advanced 2 on the DS. I would love to see another Tactics Advanced, or at least see those 2 get remastered for the Switch. Apparently no one agrees with me on that one.
No.
We're just trying.
I agree. I'm just pondering. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I didn't get to play much of Vanquish. I think I played the demo of it back a while, but that was back when school was confusing.
Well, if you ever have the money to throw towards it, it's probably dirt cheap by now. It's not a very long game, and it works kind of like an arcade style, like Platinum games kind of do, but absolutely worth picking up. Short game, you'll definitely enjoy it.
Oh, it's so much fun. And I guess last thing before we move on is just because we mentioned it, and this is still unconfirmed at the moment, but considering who's at the helm of it, I think we can expect to see it soon, and that is, it sounds like the director of Devil May Cry 5 has put some very strong hints towards Dragon's Dogma 2 being his next project that he's going to be working on.
All right, well, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm going to remember the day that we actually did this podcast. So when it comes out in 2025, I can be like, hey, remember that funny little thing you said?
Oh, I want that to happen. Like, I don't know what I want more, Dragon's Dogma 2 or Kingdoms of Amalur 2, because both good games, but just because I actually finished Dragon's Dogma, I think I've got to give it to that one.
Okay. I think we're okay. I think we officially move on to our next topic. I think everyone agree?
I'm all for it.
Yep, sounds good.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, our next topic is anime that we wish would get a sequel / made. Let's see. I'll go ahead and start this one off. I definitely want to go for the made category because a bunch of little. Every now and then you find a random little manga you had no idea what it was about, and you're like, oh god, this is great. Why isn't this already a thing already? and for me, that was I'm not sure if you guys read it. I found it, and my friend was able to get me more of it. Way of the House Husband. Hey, you guys hear that?
I think I've heard that one
of it.
Actually.
Yeah,
I have not heard of it.
No.
For the whole, explaining it to other people. I'm gonna need some context here.
So the story is basically about obviously a stay-at-home husband, except he used to be a part of the Yakuza, like big-time Yakuza guy, but now he's a fully domesticated house husband.
Oh,
But he treats his wife like she's the boss of their. I always forget how they go about their section or whatever, and. So he's like he still looks super intense. He still dresses like a yakuza. To a degree he still acts like that. But he's a nice guy, but he'll be like cleaning, and they got like one of those self-driving vacuum cleaners, and he's watching. Hey, we got the newbie here, huh? And he's like watching. What you doing? Come on. He inspects some line where he didn't get all the dust, and he just goes, "Noob, this isn't right." and then one of my favorite things is he treats the neighborhood association, the head of that, as like the grand top of the Yakuza chain.
Oh my god. The fucking neighborhood watch.
Yeah. Like it's got a nice art style to it. And it knows what it is. I think it'd be a really good one of those 5-minute block animes. You know, those quick little things.
Those between episode things.
Yeah, I think it actually would be really good as that because you can just do a quick scene and just get a good laugh out of it. There's a great one where one of those salesmen comes to the door and he's showing off knives, and so he's trying. He's being intimidating without meaning to, and he's like, "How about you come inside and show me how these knives work, man? Come on."
Oh my god.
Come on in.
Now, the only other show I have for reference for the 5-minute things is Axis Power Hitalia, so I'm imagining that style. And everything is just worse for some reason.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, last little bit because I've never done a scene that was really good. And then we'll move on to someone else. There's a part where he goes to a yoga class with some other wives from the neighborhood, and as he's doing the poses, he's realizing that the poses he's renaming them pose where he's heads on the floor, begging the boss for forgiveness. And he's just naming off all of these as they're doing them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The only Yakuza member to somehow be funnier than whose line is it anyway?
But yeah, it's got a good sense of humor. I would love for to see something from that. But yeah, I think that's good for my. We'll go next is Hoso. How about you, buddy?
There's a lot I could contribute to this one. Since we've been talking about manga, I guess that'd be the first place I would start at. There's a couple manga that I especially read like in high school, which was, oh god, over 10 years ago, that I really thought would make good anime. One was mostly because I really liked the author, and it's the same, the manga artist that did Midori Days. He created this other series, it's called Aikora, or Love and Collage, or something like that. Pretty much, well, it turns into a harem anime, which of course, was even big back then. And pretty much, you got this guy, he moves to the big city, because he lives in a small town, and the particular about his guy, he has what's called a parts fetish. Certain parts of the female anatomy, he has like a huge thing for, like in specific details. It's not just like, hey, I like big tits. Nothing like that.
Good. I was hoping you would elaborate on that.
Like back of the knee.
Yeah. No. Like, there's like, let's see. I'm trying to think of the characters. It's been a while since I've read this manga, but like,
epidermis.
Like one of the main girls who shocker, is a tsundere. She has like these special like cat-like eyes that just seem to sparkle or whatnot. Oh, he's just has a big fascination for that. Oh yeah.
Could you say that it is her special eyes?
If Juno didn't go there, I was going to.
See, this is why I ship myself with Fail.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
So who has her brand?
Anyway, so pretty much the plot is he decides to transfer, like when he's going to high school, he's transferring from, I forget, some small town to Tokyo because, well, hey, a lot more women there. However, upon his arrival, he comes to find out that the boys' dorm that he was supposed to stay at mysteriously burnt down. So,
oh god, no, please.
And so this teacher comes up and pretty much explains the situation to him, greets him and everything. Of course, guess what happens with the teacher? She has one of the parts that the guy really likes, which is like long, slender legs or something like that. I'm just paraphrasing because there's quite a bit of detail. It's not just long, slender legs. There's some specific asset, but again, been a little while. So, what ends up happening? He ends up getting to stay in a shed right outside the girls' dorm, and of course he's allowed to go inside to eat and whatnot. But of course they're watching him like a hawk because hey, it's a guy around the girls' dorm, and he's been shown. And because of a misunderstanding, another big shocker, the tsundere thinks he's a pervert, which, well, let's face it, kind of is, but he's not as bad as a guy as you think he is. Again, kind of cliche in that part, but and then there's dorm. There's like these 3 other girls, all of which have a body part that he has a fascination with. Like one of them actually happens to be a specific type of big tits. I'll put it bluntly like that. And another one, some kind of like voice that somehow he just falls in love with, which brings up funny plot later on in the series. So basically, he's the kind of guy, so he does whatever he can to help him, like, I wouldn't say get off, because it's not that inappropriate, but, where he gets to experience the ecstasy of his fetishes. But
can I interject with something real quick?
Go ahead.
From now on, before I watch any anime or read any manga, I am going to have you watch or read it, and then explain it to me. And that is how I will make my call. Because this is like, I could listen to this for hours.
Well, considering I'm trying to
like,
base this off...
I kind of just want to nestle up into your chest and be like, tell me more.
I want to cut in quickly, and just when he was, well, when you're saying like with the teachers, like he likes her long slender legs for some reason, just because of the way you described it. It's like, what, so her legs are chopsticks? that's just the mental image I had.
Oh,
and now I've got that mental image, thanks.
yeah.
I'll get my
Two
2 cents.
chopsticks
I'll
shooting
be
out
in
of a skirt.
Photoshop. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Well, like I said, it's from the same guy who did Midori Days, so if you Well, I think I'm probably the only one who's ever seen Midori Days.
No, I've seen it. I have that on DVD, I think, somewhere.
Me too.
Well,
Of course, I'd have to have it.
You know, if you animes actually have English dub bloopers.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, I enjoyed those bloopers. All right. I'm going to do another manga real quick before I move on to my... Because there's a lot of anime I can name that could deserve a sequel or a third season or whatnot. There's this other manga I never got to finish, but I really wish had an anime adaptation. Has anyone read the manga Gamblefish?
I've actually heard of that one.
I have not.
I think Dark was reading it at one point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the one I started again back in high school, but I did. But I wish that would have always been turned into an anime. Trying to keep it short. Yeah, there's a lot of gambling involved. Big shocker.
There's one. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
There's gambling involved.
Oh, okay.
You spoke really too fast. I honestly couldn't pick up what you said.
I heard Gamble Ball.
See, I'm not the only one who didn't hear it. I'm glad I had you repeat it because I was like, what the fuck did he say?
Yeah. My speaking skills are not up to par. You guys know this.
That's why we love you. Never change.
All right. Let's move on to Fail. Yeah, what you got?
My two, Higurashi Outbreak and the Higurashi manga, basically.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, because I was double checking while I was doing this. I actually looked up Outbreak and saw there's like the wiki page. It's like, yeah, they've had the first episode and there's no indication as to like whether the second's being made or when it's going to air or whatever. Because I'm just like, I remember watching the first episode of that and just like, but then where does it go from here? Like they've like really left it open for a sequel. I'm just like, are they seriously just going to like leave it there? Apparently, like on like a sound novel, there is like a follow-up to it, but I know next to nothing about it. And the reason I mention the manga is because of the two forms of Higurashi I've watched, read, whatever. It's the one I prefer by far.
Which one?
The Higurashi manga. I prefer that over the anime, and I have still not. I've still not gone for the visual novels, admittedly, but.
Hold up, there's visual novels?
Well, yeah, if I remember correctly, it started as a visual novel, then became an anime, then became a manga.
So the manga was third,
shit.
right?
Yeah,
So the manga's just destined to be better.
Yeah, and then there's a few more stories. There's actually some of the manga stories I would like to see kind of turn into anime. They kind of do the thing where you split off like what happened to this timeline after so and so years.
Yeah. Also, the main thing I like over the of the Higurashi manga over the anime is the Higurashi manga actually has Keiichi's father in it, and just like that immediately makes it better.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You actually see
now.
the parents. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Watching Higurashi is like me playing Blaze Blue. I'm gonna enjoy it, but I have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on.
Ugh.
So yeah, they're basically my main two. Well, only two for this podcast, really.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see something like that. Okay, so moving on from there, Striker, how about you next?
Let's see. I've got two. One for a sequel, and one for basically a anime remake sequel. Sequel first. I'd like to see No Game No Life. Most definitely want to see a sequel to that. A continuation of that because I absolutely love No Game No Life, and I want to see more of this world, more crazy shenanigans that could happen in this world. I
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
This is how I guess I love how clever it is, and how completely off the rails these games get as well. It's just such a joy to watch. And like, see my sequel anime. I'd like to see Soul Eater get the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment. Just get like see that go like a proper remake and go through the manga properly. Just because I love.
Is the manga still going? Is the manga still going on that, or did they finally wrap up?
They finished it. So that's why I'd like to see the full thing done, just like they did with Brotherhood. Just because I love it, and the later chapter's also really good as well.
Just a quick thing for you, Hoso. If you ever have time, definitely go and finish the manga, because it ended way better than the anime could ever dream to.
Like
I know about the anime. I know about the anime ending. Oh, so bad.
Well, it wasn't bad. It was just rushed. That's what happens with a lot of these. That's the same reason that Full Metal Alchemist just, they decided, let's make an anime. Oh, fuck. Just go for it. Go for it. Just wing it. Ad-lib.
To be fair, the Full Metal Alchemist...
ending.
We'll do it live!
The Full Metal Alchemist original is not a bad departure. I think it's like an interesting take on it, but of course, going with the original plot is better, obviously.
Yeah, like I said, like I don't think that the original was bad. It's just Brotherhood, I think, is better.
So yeah.
I mean, especially after Dick McEggnog.
Yeah, that could be a whole other thing. That should be get into that here.
That
could be a whole other fucking thing.
Well, that's why I just mentioned it. I gave no details.
So yes, Soul Eater. That's my Soul Eater sequel anime, and No Game No Life getting a sequel as well, a continuation as well. Those are my picks.
Can I ask something out of you, Striker? Like, what specifically do you want to see from No Game No Life as it continues down the road? Like, besides like the story continuing, what do you want to see?
Well, definitely like what all the other some of the other races as well. Like, 'cause, like I haven't looked into No Game No Life past the anime, so I'd like to see like all the other races, how they would interact with all this, and what sort of games and an extra twist they'd bring, because I know like how the elves brought in magic, that sort of subtle magic to the games, and well, the Beastmen had their virtual video game, which is a bit different, but just like what these other races are really, and what can they do to add these extra twists to these games. And actually, in fact, what games could be taken to the extreme, because how extreme fucking chess got. I want to see what else can they take to extreme.
Of course, because I've never seen anybody try to find a way to make life or death out of Connect 4, but I am interested.
Come on, they turned a naming game
dead
into
and dead and bleeding on the floor. Pretty sneaky, sis.
Okay, that just
Want to
reminds
resurrect
me
a
of
dead meme?
Kaiji.
That's how you do it.
I mean, come on, they turned a freaking naming game into life or death, so I'm not surprised whatever can be taken to the extreme.
Well, if you really want to think about it, that show is just a giant game of Risk.
It's true, actually.
Yeah, you got a good point there. Never thought of it like that.
Although that reminds me more of another anime. Has anyone guys seen Kaiji?
No.
That's a resounding no.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever watched it.
It's a Madhouse anime. The guy's like super in debt, so he's got to play these games in order to reclaim his debt, but it gets so serious. Like, the second game definitely involves going across a beam of like over 20 stories, and if you fall, you die.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we all got the gist.
All right, moving on. Gino, how about you next, buddy?
All right, so unlike everybody else who actually like reads a lot of manga, I am awful at reading manga. Like, if you wanted me to ask you to put something into anime that I've read that I haven't seen, like the only thing I can think of is like Bernstein Bears. There we go. But as far as continuations, there are two animes that I am a huge fan of that I am just sitting here waiting. And one of them came to fruition just for a bit of a tease, and that was Excel World. Excel World is one of my absolute favorites to watch. It's so much. I'm a huge fighting gamer, so watching that in an anime form is just like euphoric to me. And even if like there are a lot of people who say like the story isn't that good and stuff like that, I like the villains though. The villains are really, really good in my opinion, and it always feels like the story is moving forward. I'm not a big fan of the like sub-romantic plot that goes on, but I love how the momentum just keeps building and everything just gets stronger, and there's never like a down moment with them fighting. It's always like going on. It's like watching DBZ, except everyone's just like, oh my god, just keep fighting.
I think that's DBZ in general.
I get you. That's another one I've heard about, but I never actually got around to seeing. There's a lot I haven't seen.
I fucking loved Excel World. I have to watch the movie still.
Well, if we're all... Yeah, exact. But, like, it's to be fair, Sonic, if you had time to watch everything, you wouldn't have time to watch everything. There's so much anime out there that just... And it keeps growing every day. You're fighting a losing battle if you ever try to watch it all. And anyone that has watched it all, I'm sorry.
And then it's also a matter of finding the right whatever site you can get a hold of it to.
Besides that, though, obviously, Log Horizon.
Yes!
Huge fan of it. Absolutely love it. Log Horizon, for those who don't know about it, and looking at our fan base, I assume most of you do, but for those that don't, Log Horizon is basically what Sword Art Online promised to be in the first half of the first season, and then they dropped completely. It is all the raid bosses, all of the micromanaging fights, without any of the if you die in the game, you die for real bullshit. They are in the game. The only downside to dying is you start losing memories of your real life. Their whole goal is to try to get back to the real world, I think. I don't know. They haven't really... They said they want to, but I don't know. I don't think they would really. Let's be fair. They're technically immortal.
Missed an opportunity there. You just said, I died. I forgot about it.
Yep, and you just described a barbarian. But yeah, I love the show just because of the fact, especially season 2 with the giant raid boss they do.
Oh, fuck
and
yeah.
it's the first time you really see the main character fail, and then he goes back with an even better plan. He starts to lose faith a little, and then he like gets the whole speech and everything is like so much better. It's like everything you want from that genre, as cheesy as it could possibly be and given to you, with having some original things in it. Like the fact that he can literally forge anybody's fucking writing, and he actually uses that, and it's so great.
I love Log Horizon for like similar to No Game No Life. It's so clever and how well it plays to its concept. Like it actually takes advantage of being an RPG come to life.
It's just I like it because it's unique, it's refreshing, it's everything that I wanted from Sword Art that I didn't get. It is an anime that just jumps out to me and catches me, and it's just what I want. At the end of the day, if they had another season come out, I would be I'm one of the person that'll wait for the whole season to come out before I watch it. This is one of those ones that I would set time aside to make sure I'm watching it every time it comes out, because I'm that invested in something that's this good.
Totally agree with you in that.
Completely agree on both of those.
And a lot of this I'm just nodding my head because, again, I've never seen anything.
Just smile
and wave, boys. Oh, god damn it.
Thousands of miles away, and they still talk at the same time.
Would be
We're just that good.
Same joke. Oh god. And I guess this leaves it. It's down to me now.
Yeah, I think we move on to you.
Yeah. Flat out. I don't really have any sequels in mind. Like the two sequels I would like to see, Gino covered quite nicely there.
That's what I do.
For me, like remake, two remakes I'd love to see get made would be Shaman King. I'd love to see it get a up-to-date remake, because when I was younger, that was one of my favorite anime, and from what I understand, the anime split off from the manga and did its own thing near the end. So I'd like to see it properly get like a full remake beginning to end, no filler, like that proper treatment, like the Hellsing Ultimate treatment, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and obviously another remake that I'd love to see would be Rosario Vampire, because again, that needs the Hellsing Ultimate remake, because
yeah.
because fucking season 2 of season. Like the manga was split into season 1 and season 2. Season 1 of the manga, 10 volumes long. Season 1 of the anime covered the first 3 volumes, and even then somehow needed filler and fucked so much shit up. I made a rant video about it.
I know.
A few years back.
That'd be totally one of my tops as well, but I figured someone would say it, so that's why I didn't.
Yeah, no, I would love to see, like, just because of how much other shit happens. Like, again, like, Sukune isn't just this useless little.
Oh,
like, he's not just, he's not just there. He actually becomes useful. Like, he learns to fight. I can't go into too much without spoiling so much of it, but just flat out.
All cards on the table. I have no idea what's going on. I've never seen this.
Just seeing his actual growth and development to all this is great.
Yeah, like I guess to bring Gino up to speed, Rosario Vampire is it's a monster school harem anime where a human winds up going. I know
what it is.
Okay.
I would say.
Well, fuck
it's
me.
in literally over half of our fucking AMVNs. How would I not know what it is? I just don't know anything about it.
AMV Nightmares 1 to, I believe, 8. Every single one of them. No, AMV Nightmares 1 to 7. Every single one of those episodes had at least 2 minutes of Rosario Vampire.
It's essentially our signature anime.
It used to be. I think thanks to Sakura, our signature anime is starting to shift over to being
Kogios.
Danganronpa.
I don't know. Especially with My Hero Academia giving us a lot of new content. I think the fans, wink wink, can expect a lot of content from that.
Yeah, it's true.
I surprisingly don't have many ideas for My Hero Academia.
I've got quite a few, but and moving on to anime I'd like to get seen, or an anime I would like to see get made. Wow, I can talk. I'd actually choose Please Stop Bullying Me, Nagatoro-san.
Well, that one would be a good one, from what I've seen.
It's the only it's about this kind of like, you get your typical nerdy, wimpy protagonist. He loves to draw, he loves art, and he's really shy and awkward around girls. And one day, one of his underclassmen comes in, and she happens to see a manga he's been drawing, and she starts bugging him about it. And the scenes she looked at happened to be a bit more on the lewd-ish side. Mm-hmm. So she starts bugging him and always calling him gross and basically she starts hanging around him for the sake of making his life hell.
Okay. And
I don't know why I love Nagatoro so much, except for she could give smug Wendy a run for her money as the Queen of Smug.
Jeez.
God.
That is a bold accusation.
Oh yeah, her expressions, the shit she does, everything about it is just so fucking I just think it would translate so well into an anime, especially under the right studio.
You know what? No, I'm gonna actually go ahead and throw a comparison up on the screen. I'm gonna watch this so I can get to this part and see the comparison. I'll come back to you and let you know.
Yeah, that would be the anime I'd like to see get made, but unfortunately, I think we're about out of time here now. We went pretty hard on this one.
Yeah, I think we can start wrapping it up here.
Yeah, and holy shit, we stayed on topic for 90% of it. What the fuck?
Oh wow.
That's how a good podcast goes, man.
So that's what it feels like.
All right.
But we had to get it right one time, right?
Oh yeah. Well, with that, I have to say to our viewers, thank you for showing up and watching us discuss things that hopefully you have some interest in, or at the very least, listening to us be bellends. I believe that's still a term the British use. And
if you want, feel free to throw in your own stuff in the comments down below. What do you want to see potentially get made, or whatever? Feel free to comment anything like that below.
Don't forget about topics. We could also, if you want to see any topics of us discussed here on the podcast, go ahead and drop those in the comments below as well.
Also, send your fan fiction to Gino.
Sonic Ring is still waiting on his gay fan fiction. That was a joke in a podcast topic, but we will read that shit live if we get some.
I'll be playing the part of Sonic Ring.
And I know we don't really say this that option, but please be sure to hit that like button if you liked what you saw. Hit the share if you think others would enjoy this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why are you watching this? How are you watching this?
Oof. Don't insult them like that. How dare you?
Yeah, just alienate our future viewer base, Shadow. Good one.
I didn't mean to say why. I meant to say how, because I won't lie, like, it's unlikely that a non-subscribed person will be watching this, but if you are and you got through the whole thing, hey, thank you. And with that, we will see you guys next time.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Going to bed.